Welcome to the channel. Welcome to today's run through of all the latest Manchester United news and transfer updates, keeping you right up to date with everything. I'm Jamie. Before getting into it, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's jump straight into it. So let's kick off with a bit of an injury update regarding Diego Dalot, who's pulled out of international duty. So Diego Dalot was withdrawn from the national squad. The fullback is said to be suffering from muscle discomfort, and it's been released by the national team's medical professionals. There's no further information on what the precise issue is with the Manchester United player, but it's clearly serious enough to rule him out of Roberto Martinez's squad for the full international break. That's a little bit of a blow, I think, going forward. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the severity of the injury could just be precautionary because, obviously, it's friendlies in the international. Maybe they don't want to take a chance, and he's withdrawn because he doesn't want to be out for the upcoming games for United. It's weird that they send him home, though. It's a bit of maybe a concern if they're sending him home, but maybe it is just he's not going to be fit enough to play the next couple of games, so it's better just for him to come back, do some rehab at the New Carrington, and hopefully still be available for the future as well. So because, we do need options. Obviously, we've got the small matter of Manchester City coming up next as well. So I do think, we need as many players available for that game as we can get fit as well. Although not necessarily, we've got Ahmad that can obviously play at the right wing back. Mazraoui's coming back as well. Dorgu's missed the last couple of or been on the bench last game. Don't know whether that was precautionary as well. But obviously Dorgu can come back in. So I think we'll be covered if he is out for however long. Obviously, we need to wait and find out the extent of the injury and stuff. So I do think we have potentially cover, but it's never nice getting players injured, is it? Because I do think you need options in rotation and substitutes to change games as well. But we'll keep an eye on it. I'll bring you any more updates if they break as well. But give us your thoughts on that in the comments below. Let's go through some transfer news. So the arrival of Le Mans has cast doubt on the futures of Bayindir and Onana, with one of them set to leave the club for Turkey or Saudi Arabia to bring balance to Amorim's goalkeeper options. Now that came from Disco Mirror. That shouldn't exactly come as a surprise that the stories are now we've bought Le Mans, that maybe we are still looking to sell either Bayindir or Onana or loan them to either the Turkish League or the Saudi Pro League, because they're the transfer windows that are still open at the moment as well. So that's not exactly breaking news, I don't think, coming from Disco Mirror. I think it's widely reported that maybe we would look to remove a goalkeeper if we can, now that we bought in Sonny Le Mans. Sticking with Onana, though, Fabrizio Romano said that Andrew Onana and Ruben Amorim maintain a strong relationship. Amorim emphasises that all players, including Onana, must perform at their peak to earn playing time. So Amorim's, I just hope he maintains consistency on that, you've got to earn your place in the team, and it's based on performances, because that's how it should be at any football club, specifically United as well. It should be how you're performing on the pitch will determine your minutes and your game time. But Romano saying that there's no issue behind the scenes effectively between Amorim and Onana. Interestingly, though, the court offside was saying that Manchester United are offering Andrea Onana on loan / permanent deal to Turkish clubs and also Saudi clubs. So another report suggesting that maybe we're offering Onana out to other leagues. And then two Turkish sources or journalists, I have no idea the credibility, got quite large followings though, to be fair, saying that Trabzonspor have approached Manchester United regarding a loan move for Andre Onana, and then another Turkish outlet saying the same thing as well, that potentially he could be of interest to Trabzonspor on loan, and that maybe would be a way to, facilitate a possible exit in the future for Andre Onana. They could also, interestingly, make a move for Bayindir as well. But again, at the moment, at the time of recording, no real movement or updates on any more goalkeeper exits. Interestingly, though, one player that we are still trying to sell that was part of the bomb squad was Malacia. So Man United is still exploring exit routes for Tyrell Malacia. The club is still open to allowing the Dutchman to move to a country where the window is still open, although the final decision will be left to Ruben Amorim. So up to Ruben Amorim now, I mean, what do you do if you can't sell him? You're gonna, is he? I don't necessarily think he's a troublemaker or anything behind the scenes. I don't think he's one that we would not want around the group with his. I don't think he's got a problem with attitude and mentality and all of that stuff as well. So maybe he would be integrated back to the first team or to the reserves and at least get some, keep him fresh and fit, and hopefully maybe do something in January if we don't get an exit done for Tyrell Malacia to, again, same as Onana, and possibly by end it'll be to the Turkish or the Saudi Pro Leagues. But we'll have to wait and see and keep an eye on it. So even though our window is closed, we are potentially still going to see some last minute exits to those leagues if there's interest, and obviously if Malacia wants to go as well, because it's a shame that move to Elche fell through, because that would have been a decent shout for him as well to stay in Europe, and still be in one of the top leagues in the world as well. Maybe that's what he wants, but obviously with the European market being closed now, limits his options. Would he take a move to Turkey? Even if we do something on loan, he's not on particularly great wages. He's in the last year of his contract anyway. So, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on it and see how we feel. What would you think? What would you do with Malacia though? If he doesn't get an exit, would you be okay to bring him back? I don't know where he would get many minutes, because he'd be behind obviously Dorgu. Amorim played Dalot, left wing back against Burnley. Martinez coming back soon. Could Shaw switch to that position as well? Like, he's not really going to get much game time, is he? I don't think he would be ahead of those players potentially for that position. Mazraoui can play there as well. I think Amorim would probably rather play those than Malacia, and we've not got that many games. No Europe, no cup competitions now till January, when the FA Cup starts again. Oh God, it's painful already, isn't it? I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, God, don't realise what you've got till it's gone sometimes, and not watching United, midweek is going to be absolutely, gut wrenching, I think, for this season as well. But that's it's not our fault as fans, but that's the result of obviously being proper shite last season and not qualifying for any European competition. But it is going to be very, very painful. Yeah, give us your shouts on that in the comments below. Now, let's go through some midfield news. So Fabrizio Romano on all people involved in keeping Kobbie Mainoo at United. So obviously, Mainoo wanted to go out on loan because he's questioning his minutes, wants to get in the England squad, and obviously he's behind Bruno at the moment. So there's this whole situation brewing possibly with Kobbie Mainoo. So Romano said that Kobbie Mainoo, after the Fulham game, went directly to Ruben Amorim and to the club with his agent to say, "I'm not happy because here I don't play." Man United internally decided, from what I'm told, also they with Sir Jim involved, that they couldn't sell Kobbie Mainoo. So this was the decision made with all the people involved, so director, CEO, coach and owner. So Romano suggesting that Sir Jim Ratcliffe was involved in the decision making of keeping Kobbie Mainoo. He said, "I think we have some interesting months ahead, because if Kobbie Mainoo will play, the situation will be okay. But if Kobbie Mainoo will stay on the bench, I think it could be a topic again." So it's effectively, like, how do you feel about the Kobbie Mainoo situation? It'd be interesting to get your thoughts and shouts on it in the comments below, because he's a very talented young player, but we've got an issue with his contract where he's wanting, or his agency are wanting, astronomical wages going off of the reports. He's not quite a regular first team player, so I don't think that his position in the squad now warrants like first team. Bruno, he wanted like 180 grand a week, I think it was at some point. It's been reported. Athletic was saying the other day 200 grand a week as well, which is nuts. But I don't quite think it's as high as that. But them's the reports out there. But he's wanting like a big wage rise, or pay rise. So what? But then on the flip side, from the club perspective, it's like, well, you're not quite guaranteed first team minutes. You're not quite in the full first team, so you don't necessarily warrant first team player wages. But I do think he warrants a pay rise, because he's only on 20 to 30 grand a week. And when you just mentioned Malacia, for example, Malacia is on more money than Mainoo, so I do think he deserves a pay rise and should be getting a pay rise for his position in the squad. It's just, are they going to offer him as much as what maybe him and his agencies want? But then on the flip side, he has now asked to leave as well, so it's a weird one. But give us your thoughts and feelings on the whole Kobbie Mainoo situation. Be interesting to read those later. Give us your shouts on how you feel about the player. Would you keep him at all costs? Give him the new contract? Are you concerned that he's asked to leave and is not effectively playing or not seen as a first team regular at the moment. We've got the contract situation as well. Is it getting a little bit messy? I think the situation. I just hope that he knuckles down, gets his head down, and gets minutes on the pitch, and that's all you can ask. And I hope it's warranted minutes as well, because I don't want us to now be playing Mainoo just to keep him. Like, he should be. No one should be playing at United just for like contracts, or just because we don't want to lose them in the future and stuff. It should be all based around performances. So I just hope the best solution is he gets game time, he becomes happy, signs a new contract. Yes, a pay rise, not a ridiculous pay rise that's being kind of banded around in the media and stuff. And then eventually he takes over from Bruno next year, which leads me nicely actually into the next story. So Gimme Sport was saying that Manchester United doubled down on their unwillingness to sanction an 11th hour departure of Kobbie Mainoo in the final stages of the summer transfer window, as influential figures at Old Trafford would be more open to offloading Bruno Fernandes. So this report from Gimme Sport was effectively saying that the hierarchy, so Sir Jim, according to Romano and Omar Barada and everyone like that as well, was saying that no, we want to keep Kobbie Mainoo and they would be more acceptable to selling Bruno Fernandes in the future than they would Kobbie Mainoo. And that's on the cards, it's on the agenda, it's widely documented. I've covered it multiple times on previous videos as well, where there's a an expectation that Saudi clubs will come back in next summer for Bruno Fernandes. So maybe that was one of the reasons why they didn't sanction the loan as well, because they're like, no, actually stay, learn under Bruno for a year, and then take over his position towards the end of the season, or next season as well, once you've had a period to learn and grow and develop. And there's nothing wrong with that as a young player. Like that, no young player, even at United, should be given the right to play. And I don't think it's a bad thing for Kobbie to work behind Bruno and learn the game and develop, as long as it's fair. It's got to be fair and consistent. He's got to have his fair share of opportunities on the pitch to show what he is learning and what he is developing. But yeah, give us your thoughts on that in the comments. So it looks like, going off of that report, United would be more willing to sell Bruno than they would Kobbie Mainoo. And in the report it said that Man United would be more willing to sell Fernandes instead of academy graduate Mainoo. There you go. Read the slide in advance for you. But yeah, give us your thoughts on that and feelings on that in the comments below. Now, sticking with the midfield, Manchester United and Chelsea remain front runners in the race to sign rising Crystal Palace and England star Adam Wharton. Sources close to the situation reveal that both Man United and Chelsea have earmarked the 21-year-old as a key target for the upcoming January window, viewing him as a potential game changer for their respective midfields. That came from, I read it in the Manchester Evening News. It was from a journalist that works for Team Talk. Not the most credible is what I'm going to say regarding that. So I would want to see a bit more credibility. But Wharton's on the list. We've had more credible people suggest that United are interested in Adam Wharton. I think other teams would be interested in Adam Wharton as well. He's a very good ball playing midfielder who's got a lot of potential, still young. Obviously Premier League proven, homegrown, all of that jazz as well. So I do think there would be competition and interest in Adam Wharton. Would Palace want to sell in January though? Not entirely convinced, because obviously they had the whole situation with Gahey at the end, where Glasner was effectively saying, like, if you don't bring in a centre back without selling Gahey, I'm going to resign. So whether that would it'd cost a lot of money as well. So again, we'll keep an eye on it. It's a bit early to be talking about potential January targets, but because we're Man United, hated, adored, never ignored, we're always going to get transfer rumours and links with players as well. But give us your thoughts on that. We'll just have to wait and see. I think Wharton is on the list of potential midfield targets that we would look at in the future, but we'll have to wait and see. Way more credibility and closer to the time as well. But give us your shouts on that in the comments. And Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester United held multiple meetings to assess Morten Hjulman's situation, but a move was ruled out as Sporting, having already sold Gyökeres, are unwilling to lose another key player. So that's interesting. So maybe the links with Morten Hjulman were a little bit more serious than originally sort of documented, because he was always seen as being on the list of potential targets, someone we were looking at. But according to Romano, we had multiple meetings to assess his situation. Maybe he was a little bit higher in the pecking order for potential targets. Again, could that be one that we look to revive in the future? I'm not entirely convinced by Hjulman. I think he's a good player, but yeah, I'd have concerns about him transition into Premier League football. Might need a bit of time to bed in, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on that situation. But we do need to look to obviously for a Casemiro replacement anyway, because he's in the last year of his contract. Like, I think the main concern in the midfield for me is actually Casemiro. I know some of you will say Bruno Fernandes, but I saw some stats the other day that Bruno Fernandes is like top in the league for like interceptions or winning the ball back or something, and then also top for chances created. So he's actually doing okay in terms of numbers wise. I think it's the partner for Bruno that concerns me, which at the moment is Casemiro. And Casemiro decided to remain at Manchester United instead of joining Al Nassr, aiming to boost his chances of playing in the 2026 World Cup. So that came from Goal, a Brazilian outlet, fairly decent as well. And that was reported through the summer as well. I remember covering stories saying that he wanted to stay because of his World Cup chances. And can't blame him for that. Just got back into the national team as well after being out of favour for a while, and obviously new manager Ancelotti. It's just unfortunate because had we bought in a midfielder, maybe that would have made his mind up, because it would have pushed him down the pecking order, and then maybe he would have got that move as well. But again, we didn't go for the midfielder. We went for the striker. The reports are from Laurie Whitwell and that the other day. United we're at a crossroads after we bought in Bumo, where it was, well, do we go for a number 9 or do we go for a number 6? And United decided to go for a number 9 in Benjamin Sesko and not go for a midfielder this summer. So again, we'll have to see. If I do think it's going to be a position we're looking at in the future, but and especially Casemiro's out of contract. We just mentioned their reports, potentially Bruno going next year as well. Mainoo, what happens there if he doesn't sign a new contract and wants to go and doesn't get many minutes? Maybe we're looking at maybe 2 or 3 midfielders next summer, who knows? And then Ugarte's form and confidence is through the floor at the moment as well. So yeah, we're definitely going to be. That's definitely an area of concern and something we're going to need to look to address in upcoming transfer windows. But give us your thoughts and feelings on that in the comments below, as I am sure that you will. And give us your thoughts on all the other topics discussed in today's video, because that's you all up to date with the latest news and transfer updates. Smash a like in the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. See you in the next one.